The eastern region of the Democratic Republic of Congo has been a hotbed of conflict for decades. This instability has its roots in the Rwandan genocide of 1994. Hutu extremists, responsible for the genocide, fled across the border into the DRC. They brought violence and chaos with them. Rwanda, a small but determined nation, has long claimed that the DRC harbors those responsible for the genocide. This belief has fueled Rwandan intervention in the DRC, further destabilizing the region. The latest chapter in this saga involves the M23 rebel group. Rwanda is accused of backing the M23, a charge it denies. The M23 has gained significant ground, capturing the strategically important city of Goma in 2025. The conflict has displaced hundreds of thousands of people, creating a humanitarian crisis of immense proportions. The DRC, rich in mineral resources, has become a battleground for control, further fueling the violence. South Africa, as a regional powerhouse, has been drawn into this conflict. It faces a complex challenge, trying to bring peace to a region riven by ethnic tensions, political instability, and competition for resources. South Africa's involvement is not just about altruism. It has significant economic interests in the DRC, particularly in the mining sector. South Africa's intervention in the DRC is motivated by a complex web of strategic interests. As a leading member of the Southern African Development Community, South Africa has a vested interest in regional stability. A peaceful and stable Central Africa is crucial for the economic development of the entire SADC region. South Africa also sees itself as a continental leader, committed to resolving conflicts within Africa. Beyond regional stability, South Africa has significant economic interests at stake in the DRC. The DRC is a treasure trove of mineral wealth, and South African mining companies have invested heavily in the country. These investments are vital to South Africa's own economy, providing jobs and generating much-needed revenue. The ongoing conflict threatens these investments, putting billions of rands at risk. South Africa's involvement in the DRC is also driven by its commitment to the African Union's vision of a peaceful and prosperous continent. The African Union has called for an end to the violence in the DRC, urging all parties to engage in dialogue. South Africa, as a key member of the African Union, feels a responsibility to heed this call and contribute to a lasting solution. In early 2024, South Africa deployed troops to the DRC as part of the SADC mission. The mission's objectives were clear: to support the Congolese army in its fight against the M23 rebels, and to help restore peace and stability to the region. South African troops were tasked with providing tactical support, sharing intelligence, and securing key infrastructure, including mining operations. However, the deployment has faced numerous challenges. Rwanda, which views the South African presence as biased, has condemned the intervention. This has strained diplomatic relations between the two countries. The operational environment in eastern DRC is incredibly complex and volatile. Multiple armed groups operate in the region, often blurring the lines between combatants and civilians. The terrain itself poses a significant challenge, with dense jungles and limited infrastructure hindering troop movements. Despite these challenges, South African forces initially made some progress in pushing back the M23 and restoring a semblance of order. However, the situation took a dramatic turn for the worse in 2025. The year 2025 has witnessed a dramatic escalation of the conflict in the DRC, with devastating consequences for South Africa's mission. In a significant blow to the Congolese army and the SADC mission, the M23, allegedly with substantial Rwandan military support, captured Goma in January 2025. This capture sent shockwaves through the region and highlighted the M23's growing strength and ruthlessness. The capture of Goma has had a devastating human cost. Hundreds of thousands of people have been displaced, fleeing the fighting and seeking refuge in overcrowded camps, where conditions are dire. The United Nations has reported widespread human rights abuses, including killings, sexual violence, and the recruitment of child soldiers. The recent developments have put South Africa in an incredibly difficult position. The capture of Goma and the involvement of Rwandan troops have raised serious questions about the viability of the SADC mission. South Africa now faces a stark choice: withdraw its troops and risk being seen as abandoning the DRC to its fate, or remain engaged in a conflict that seems increasingly unwinnable. The decision is further complicated by the deaths of South African soldiers during the fighting, adding a tragic human dimension to the political and strategic considerations.